Hi everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Just let me know if you can hear me. Maybe you can send a message in the chat. It would be lovely to hear from you. How is your day? How is your morning? How is your evening? How's your afternoon? Also, if the music is too loud, please let me know and I can turn it off. If you guys don't like the music, just let me know, I'll turn it off. I kind of like it. I thought I'll just keep it, but if you don't, all right. I don't see any issues there. All right, I see some people from Lagos. Chuka, I see Basara, I see Pongpan, I see Ryan is here. Thanks. I see Zena. Awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see all of us here today. Thanks for coming. Yeah, today we're going to be building and finishing up our NFT Explorer, Solana NFT Explorer. Just give me one sec here. Let me just put this over here. I want to see if I can get like a nice and clean screen for you guys, so it's not cluttered about with so many open windows, as I do have a lot of open windows. Okay. All right. Okay, this should do it. All right. So so today maybe I could just start by spinning up our server, and so you guys can see what did we do last time. What did we build last time? So last time we set up like a simple page. I'm just gonna spin up our yarn. Here we have our node modules compiling successfully. Oh, by the way, the code for today's live stream I have put in the description of this video. So I will occasionally commit some code and push, so feel free to go ahead and look at it. All right, I think I don't want it to start on a different port. I think this port is just fine. Awesome. So with any luck, this should open our NFT Explorer. So I'm just gonna bring this up in here. Cool. So this is what we built last time. You can copy any wallet address on Solana. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy mine, just to kind of give you an example. And I think we may need to also log in. And yeah. Oh well, I don't think I need to send any extra tokens there on that front. All right, cool. And oh, I do need to log in. Just give me one moment. I think there was one bug we didn't fix from our last live stream, which was enabling the user to authenticate. So I'm just gonna open up our wallet here. It was, I believe, this wallet, and I'm just gonna log out and try to log in again. And in this case let me use this email. I think this is fine. And with any luck, this should be able to fetch our user wallet address and the token inside the address. Just making sure. All right, I'm just gonna log in again just to see. Oh, let me also check my code, because I might have changed something here. That is correct. I'm not using the right API key here. So in the project, one of the things what I'm going to advise you to do is I changed the code to use a different API key. The reason why I did that is I didn't want to compromise my personal API key. I made another set of like API keys for this stream. So the way you can get an API key is on the developer dashboard. So the way that you do that is you go to app.mirrorworld.fun, and you can authenticate with Google, right? And or you can use email and password if you don't have a Google account, and you can select your project. So I made, I generated some keys here earlier before, so I'm just gonna go ahead and create a new one and copy that, right? I will be deleting that at the end of this stream as well, so there's no point in copying it. So I will be deleting it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and edit our code and put it back in there, and refresh, so we can reload the page and authenticate. All right, there we go. I'm logged in, and I can now paste a wallet address in here. Well, that's not a wallet address. I'll copy this one from my Phantom, and there we go. So now I can see all the NFTs that I have in my wallet, and the beauty with this is you don't need to have any extensions installed, or you don't need to have any random libraries installed. The only thing you need to have is a Mirrorworld SDK, and you're ready to go, and you're pretty much set. I mean, and you can search on any client as well, on any wallet address as well. So maybe some of you guys could send in some of the wallet addresses you have on your on your, in the chat. I could try to look it up here, and maybe that will work for you as well. I'll just keep an eye out on the chat here as well. Awesome. Yeah. I can see some people tried out from last time. That was really good. Awesome. All right. Also, one thing I think I need to remind us about is we have a developer Discord, right? So we also have that linked in the channel, in the description box of this video. So if you click the link, that should push you to our developer Discord, or just go to mirrorworld.fun/discord, and this will open up, take you to our developer community. So here it's telling me Discord has been launched, so we'll be here, right? So here we typically have conversations about what we're building and what's going on, and people who have challenges, you can ask there and we'll be able to help you. So it's a pretty nice place, a pretty nice space for us to be able to work from. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and open up our plan from last time. Because from last time we didn't finish our design, and this was what we had planned to build. So we plan to have 2 pages, a home page, and we also plan to set up an NFT page. So in the home page you can search by wallet address. We also wanted to add another feature to search by sole domain address. If we have time today, I think we can do that, right? And then after searching, it should show the list of cards excuse me, which it already does right now. If I just refresh the page, and now you can see it's empty, and if I paste a wallet address and I search, it will then return the tokens that I have in that wallet address. I'll just try that again. All right, there we go. So the next thing we want to do is that when the user clicks view or clicks this NFT, it should open this specific NFT on its own page, which is what we have here. So here we wanted to get the NFT name, we wanted to see the collection address, we wanted to see the description of the NFT, the NFT's website, we wanted to show the symbol of the NFT. For those of you who don't know, the metadata account for every NFT stores a symbol as well. We wanted to see what's the royalties on this NFT, how much do I have to pay to the creators every time I transfer or sell this NFT, right? The attributes as well for the NFTs, as well as the marketplace activity. So I think what we'll do is we're going to quickly crank out the UI, and then there is one last part which requires us to make a marketplace and actually interact with the marketplace so we can see this. And maybe I could also maybe send this to we could also maybe make it in such a way that if it is in fact on sale, maybe the holders could maybe whoever visits this public page can actually interact with it and buy it. I don't know. It's just an interesting feature that we could add to it and make it more mature. Although the purpose of it was to make it a demo, but if you guys want that, you can also let me know in the chat. I'm interested in seeing how that looks like. I'm taking a look here at the chat. Yeah, somebody's Ryan says the drawing tool is great for laying out quick UIs. Yeah, I use TL Draw. I use it all the time for all these kinds of things. It's a really cool tool. So we already built this component. We built the home page. Now we will kind of want to expand that into the NFT page as well. So there's a few requirements here. Let me go ahead and open our editor. And we had our plan.markdown. Who remembers our plan? So we now need to build our NFT page, and so I'm just going to kind of prioritize these, and also the NFT activity, which is good. This is done, so I'm just going to move this to the bottom, and then searching by sole domain. That's like an extra feature. Let me add these two as nice to haves. Nice to haves. The sole domain I think is a nice to have. Being able to search by also there was one other thing that we spoke about that we thought was a nice have, which was actually actually listing and buying on the marketplace, on the Explorer, right? Yeah, so for now we want to build the NFT page, and for the NFT page, these are the requirements that we wanted to have. And somebody added an extra request. They wanted to see if we could actually transfer the NFT. If I'm logged in and I can see the NFT, then maybe I should also be able to like transfer it to another address or withdraw it to another address, which I think is interesting. So for now, let's start by you know what, I'm gonna transfer that this NFT into my wallet address, right? Because this wallet is another external wallet, but I want to transfer these NFTs into my wallet address on the SDK. So the way that I'm able to see that, we didn't build a UI for it, but I'm just gonna refresh the page so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, cool. I believe it must be in the network tab. Right, so you can see I have a Sol address here, so I want to be able to transfer my NFTs from wherever into this, from this wallet address that I just showed you into this address, so you can see what it looks like. So let me go ahead and do that first, so we can maybe work off of this, maybe because I'm just a bit concerned that this has a lot of tokens. Maybe it's a lot, I don't know. What do you guys think? I would do it. I think I'll just do it. I'll just do it anyway. I'll just do it because I think it will save us a little bit of, like, give us a little bit of breathing space. Okay, so this is one of my mirrors, generation 1, which I really like it. So I'm gonna transfer it into my SDK wallet. The way that I do that is I'm gonna copy this wallet address and I'm gonna transfer it into there. So I'm gonna switch my network here on my Glow wallet to mainnet, and I will go into the NFTs and transfer it from here. Send NFT to this Solana address. I'll call this my Mirror World SDK address. There's many ways you can get an NFT. You can mint it, or you can mint it also using the SDK. If you guys want to see that, maybe we could, if we have time, we can try that. We can use it. You can use the SDK to do it. It's very easy to do. What else can we do? You can also just manually deposit it, which is what I've done. So I've just done like a manual transfer of this NFT, and so I'm just gonna check the Explorer to see the activity for this wallet address. The way that you do that is go to explorer.solana.com, put the wallet address in, and I can check the transaction history a few seconds ago. What happened? The one way you can quickly like determine the state of an account on the Explorer is to look at the token balances. It's just a nice tip or nice to have. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see. So you can see which account was, increased the token, which one reduced. So every time you see a transaction, the first things I do is I scroll down to the change to the token balances and look at the changes in the account. So I can see that this wallet address was given 1 NFT, and we can prove that, I guess, by looking at this token account rather. Yeah, this token here was now transferred to this wallet address, right? So I don't know why it says there's no holdings in this wallet, but we can easily prove that. So I'm just gonna copy our wallet address from here, copy our string contents, and then paste it in here, and there we go. Now inside my wallet, we can see our NFT. When I click the view button, what I want it to do now is open a new page. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so I think the first thing I want to do is inside our Next.js project, we have our Next.js project in here. I would like it to to dynamically route it. So dynamic routing in Next.js allows us to, for example, use a URL pattern like this NFT, right, and then put in here the address, right? So that way it's similar to kind of how you can do this. You can search for address and then you have that. So I think we should probably do that as well. So yeah, I think we should do that, because it will make it a lot easier to inspect or to debug later. So that way the user doesn't have to kind of go through the entire thing. We want it to be like very easy. So I can even copy this link and share it with someone else. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this, and I will now I want to close these windows here. I'm going to open our docs, and now I'm going to create this route inside Next.js and put in the address as well. So inside Next, it's pretty easy. You just need to create a new directory here called NFT, and I think it should be NFT. Let's use token, right? Let's use token, because I think tokens makes a bit more sense. Nah, let's use NFT. We're building an NFT Explorer. So we'll use NFT, and then we're going to put in here the mint address, right? .tsx. And yeah, I guess that's it. We can do that. One thing I'm going to do, all right, let's see. Let's export a new function here. Export default. We're going to call this NFT page. It is a function here, and I will check our index.tsx page to see how it works. Okay, it just exports a regular function. Oh, by the way, so I'm learning how to use Next.js. So some of you might be more proficient with it. If you find that you are more proficient with Next.js, please feel free to give me some suggestions or any ideas. I'm also learning it as we go along. Export default function. Yes. Export default function, Next.js. And then I'm going to, in here, I'm going to just render something. So I'm just going to return and put in here, like say a div. I like using Chakra UI because I can very quickly style elements. I'll import the Chakra element from React. There we go, and I'm going to call this the NFT page, and I will then, from the router, declare a variable for the router, and this will return the instance of the router into the component. And we import use router. I think it's use router from Next.js next router, right? All right, so I'm going to copy that, and I would like to be able to compute the mint address. So create a variable called mint address, and this will be, I'll use memo for this. If you guys know how to use memo better than me, please let me know. I am also figuring it out as we go along. I would like to use the router dot query dot mint address, right? I believe that's what it should be. So I'm going to return, oh no, router dot query, really. That's the dependency that we have. So we want to return router query dot mint address, and if there is indeed here a mint address, what we will do is display it on the page, right? So NFT page, and then in here, no, not the page. I would like to add another, paragraph element. Oh, let me use a code element really, and display and render it in here. So mint address. So it should render our mint address in here. So what we're saying is, if the mint address exists as a variable, then we will display the mint address, right? That's what we're doing in this short snippet of code. All right, so let's do that. Copy here /nft/mint address. Oh, that's the wallet address. All right, so this was a wallet address, it's not a mint address, but it still works. So now we can now access this variable inside the component. So that's good, because we're going to use this inside the SDK to perform a few calls, right? So I'm going to go ahead and in here I'm going to declare a new variable what should we call this variable? Well, let's first look at our plan. This is why it's nice to have a plan. Plans are good. The first thing I want to be able to do is, as soon as the page loads, I want you to be able to fetch the data for that specific NFT, right? So I'm going to assume that when the page is loaded, it's probably empty and there's nothing in it. So I'm going to first create a function, an asynchronous function, which we will call fetch NFT details, because we want to get the NFT details. And also in our last stream, we wrote this hook called use mirror world, and use mirror world, and use mirror world allows you to consume the SDK as like a hook. So you can see here how we do it, right? Very nice, very simple, very elegant. I'm glad we wrote it. It was really easy to do. We should probably open source it as well as like part of the mirror world, React package. So here I want to take the mirror world variable. Oh, let me first just declare it. We have an object. We plan to do destructuring. So object destructuring in JavaScript allows you to extract variables from an object, right? So for example, here we have the full router as an object. If I want to just declare only the query, you can remove the query from the original router object. So this process is called destructuring. First we want to be able to use mirror world. It gives us access to a bunch of variables. One, we have access to the user. We also have access to the mirror world function. We also have access to the login function, which I don't think we need. So the mirror world is an instance of the SDK actually. So it's the same thing as when you do inside the JavaScript installation. As when you do this is basically what it just returns, this mirror world for you. So now you can perform all the methods on the API reference. So what we want to do is we want to fetch a single NFT, right? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong JavaScript. We want to fetch an NFT. So for that, we can, I believe, look at fetch. We can do fetch NFT by mint address, right? I guess we could do that. Yeah. Let's do this. We'll do this. We'll fetch the NFT by the mint address, right? So let's take a look at our function here. Oh, we already wrote one, fetch NFTs by mint address. So all right, so I'm just going to copy this. So we already wrote it. We wrote the NFT by mint address function. So I'm just going to copy this, and it even has comments. Ooh, nice, very nice. I'm just going to do that. So since it returns an NFT, I want it to just return one NFT. We're going to modify it. It will fetch an NFT by its mint address, and because this is an array of results, I want it to only give me the first one in that element, because either way, if the mint address is correct, then it will just read. If the mint address is correct, it's only going to return one variable, but also because this method allows you to put in multiple addresses. So for example, if you want to fetch addresses, two NFTs at once, you can put in your address 1 in here and address 2 in here, and that's going to give you two. The return result will give you 2 NFTs, which is pretty nifty in case you need it. But in this case, we only need 1 because we're passing in 1. So I will destructure that again to give us only 1. So let's call this NFT details, right? Yeah, that's what we want. So this here is going to return as a type. It's going to return a promise of the type Solana NFT extended, right? And this is a type here, and we'll fix this by returning the NFT details. All right. So one thing is going to happen here is it may fail in between, and if it fails, you kind of want to relay that information back to the user, which is important to do. So for that, we're going to put and wrap this inside the try catch block, right? So try this. If there's an error, we'd like for you to catch the exception, and then you can handle the exception. So we'll start by printing the error in the console, right? And then all right, that's it. Ideally, okay. Then I don't think we need to declare the type here again. The TypeScript will infer it, because you can see here it will infer it's either that or it's undefined. All right, cool. So now we have this this function that will fetch an NFT. I will just add a debug method here so we can know what's going on. Fetching NFTs, fetching NFT or fetched NFT at this mint address, and say, and then we say here returned, what did it return? It returned the NFT detail. So we just wanted to print this when the user calls that. All right, so what we'll do, I guess, is let's put a button in here. Yeah, let's put a button in here, right? And what we want this button to do is to, when the user clicks this button, we want to perform a fetch request at this, for this NFT. We want to fetch the details of this NFT. So in here, I'm gonna put fetch details, and so we'll say here on click, we would like for you to then fetch NFTs at which mint address? At this mint address. And also we only want it to show if this other snippet of code is also visible. So I'm going to add a fragment here, right? And just to make it look better, I'll wrap this inside that, and I will then put this in here. So we don't need this space, we also don't need that space. So fetch details. Okay, let's see. Type undefined is not assignable to string. In this case, I think we're pretty sure that this is always going to be available. Let's see. Mint address. Oh, why does it always return that? No, this, I'll just force this to be a string. If you're a TypeScript ninja, you can let me know. All right, let's redo that. All right, I can see our mint address. I don't know if I can see our button. I can't see it. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's inspect it. I see our H1. I see that. Is there a mistake? Does anyone see any mistakes I've made so far, maybe? I don't think so. I don't see any errors. Maybe we could just use a regular button instead of that fancy one. All right. Maybe I need to refresh the page, perhaps. Let me restart the server. So I'm gonna restart the server just to make sure everything is happy. Typically that should have shown the button. So empty cache and hard reload. Oops. All right, there we go. I will log in. Yep. And after it logs in, I wanted to fetch this. Okay. Who knows why it's not showing my button component? Any React experts here? Because it should be showing my button, but it doesn't show the button. Ah, I think I know why. I think I know why. It's only rendering this. So I think instead of using the double ampersand, I think what we should do is use a ternary operator here, and so that it's null. So that way, now we have the code and we'll have this button. So if I click fetch details, okay, here it says it fetched NFTs and it returned undefined. Can we prove that? I think we can. Oh, actually it did return an empty address. What address is? Oh, that's because this is not an NFT address. This is a wallet address, right? So let's go in here and copy the mint address. I believe this is the mint address. Was it this one? Oh yeah, there it is. All right, cool. So if we visit this address, it should be able to work. So if I hit fetch details, there we go. Now we have an NFT, guys. Now we're talking. Guys, look at how easy that was, man. Look at how easy that was. And like, and oh man, and you can even get the marketplace activity. Let me show you guys. Let me show you. Let me show you what you can build with this. I just want to zoom in so I can show you what we're returning for you. You know, so when you fetch this, it returns the NFT alongside. It gives you the array of the creators, right? It's going to give you the description, the external URL, the image, the actual image. It's going to return for you the marketplace activities. Wow, look at that. You know, you also have the mint address. There you go, right? You can see the owner, the current owner, so you can actually see that this is my wallet address, right? And you can see the marketplace or the royalties, right? Which is really nice, very easy and very good to have. I'm pretty impressed by this. Shout out to the Mirrorworld team for building such a cool tool. All right, so now that the fetching works, we're sure it works. So now I want to kind of make it such that it happens automatically, as opposed to, I don't want the user to have to click a button every time they come on this page. You just kind of want them to, when they come here and for example they hit this route, it just fetches everything and fills it in, right? That's what we all want, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to excuse me. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to use a hook inside of React called useEffect, right? What useEffect allows you to do is to perform some side effects, and we only want that to happen, to be called when the mint address changes, right? So if there is indeed a mint address, then we would like for you to perform this fetch NFT by mint address and pass the mint address in there, right? I guess we could say dot then. Yeah, right? So this should now perform, it should now perform the fetch automatically. So if I come in here and I refresh the page, oh yeah, nice, there we go. Now we have an NFT. There we go. We have something. It now says there's an object that was returned, which is lovely. So we can get rid of this button. It looks nice, but I'll have to get rid of it because we don't need it anymore. And let me add some comments here for those of you who are tracking and who are coding live. So we'll automatically fetch the NFT data. So I think we're pretty much there with the NFT data. I think there's just one more thing that we need to add, which is now that it has fetched these NFT details, where it's going to store them, right? So we need to provide a variable for it. So I'm going to call a function here called fetch, const NFT data, or let's call it NFT details, right? I see what's going on here. All right, let's call it NFT details, and let's call it set NFT details. All right, the other you guys React devs, I think you kind of know what I'm talking about. And the type for this will be the Solana NFT extended. You can import this from the Mirrorworld package, or if you are maybe more of like a TypeScript ninja, you can do some. I don't think there's a need to do that. You can use the return type of this method. Maybe we should also probably declare it in a simple way. But anyway, I think this seems to be sufficient. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you guys have any questions, you can just ask in the chat, and I'll try to go back and respond to them. If you have any questions about what it is, that if you like or you don't like what you're seeing, just tell me why you don't like it. Maybe we'll make it better. Yeah, and we're also working on improving our stream setup. I'm streaming out of my laptop, so it might not be the best, but at least I'm glad I can at least share with you guys, and so you can see more about what we're doing. All right, cool. So we wanted to create a variable that will store the NFT details. And so what we will do is we will then set NFT details every time this function calls it. We want it to set it, right? So we will do this. So if there is, or rather if we have any NFT details, I'm just gonna rename this variable so we don't have any, let's call it NFT details result. So if we have a result, then we will perform the set NFT details, right? So if we have the NFT details result, then we want to set the NFT details with the NFT details result, right? Otherwise, we want some way to let the user know that this address is not found, right? Unknown address. We would like to create like some kind of unknown address, is unknown mint address, right? So let's create a new variable here. Let's call it is unknown mint address. This is a Boolean variable, right? Is not mint address, or let's say is invalid mint address, right? So if it's an invalid mint address, we want the user to know that, oh, by the way, this is invalid. So by default this is false. We want to assume that everyone is coming in with good intentions, and then otherwise we will then set this to true. And if that is indeed the case, then we can do some more magic in here. First thing we want to do is we have the mint address. Then inside here we want to do another conditional variable. And what is that conditional variable, you might be asking? We want to check to see that if indeed this mint address is valid, then we shall render, the details of the NFT, right? But if not, then we will not. So the way we can do that here is we can add some more JSX in here and say, by the way, if you guys think there's a better way to do this, please tell me, right? If is invalid mint address, otherwise we want to do something else, right? Yeah, I'll do this for now. If it is invalid, then I'll just put some text in here, right? I'll import this from Chakra UI. I know it has a text element, and we'll say invalid mint address, right? Otherwise we want to show the details of the NFT. Is that a good way? Is that a good conditional way to deal with this? I'm not sure. We'll come back to this earlier. I'm just gonna ignore this for now. The most important thing is we have a mint address, right? And so I will therefore get rid of this. We don't need this right now. What we want to make sure that we have is the NFT detail page. Let's make it look more more intuitive. I wanted us to also try and see if there are no results, right? Let's see because previously we had a bad address in here, right? All right, so this is a bad address. So what do we do here? First of all, there are no details. Okay, so all right, if what we also want to do another conditional in here. If there are no details, if there are no NFT details, right? Actually, this is already kind of true. So if we have no, if it's an invalid mint address, then we want to render here an alert. Say here invalid mint address, right? Otherwise, I think we just leave it empty, I guess. All right, there we go. So it's not a valid mint address, so it will now display the alert. Otherwise, if it is a valid mint address, it will now display everything. See, sometimes when you encounter like these kinds of scenarios where maybe something is not clear, it's okay to step away for a while and come back to it later. All right, awesome. I think we have done pretty much most of the SDK stuff we wanted to do. Let's look at our plan. We want to be able to fetch the NFT details on the page. We can see the name, we can get the image. We want to show the symbol, we want to show the metadata, display it in like those fields. We wanted to also show some basic collection information and royalties. What other NFT API stuff do we need to do? Like, it's become ridiculously easy that like we're looking for stuff to do. Anyway, all right, let's do more UI stuff. I guess now we've done all the blockchain stuff. Let's do some UI stuff. Cool. And by the way, if you have any questions, for those of you who have probably just joined, or maybe some people who are probably wondering, oh, what's going on here, who is this guy and what are they building? We're building an SDK, we're building an NFT Explorer in Solana. The idea is a user could come in here, search by NFT, right? Search by Sol address, or rather by their NFT address, and or the owner's address, and they could see the NFTs inside there. Or they could also search by the mint address, and this should ideally show the NFTs, right? You can see them in here. So what we're working on right now is this page, which will show the details of the NFT and show the image and show this and show basically all the magic, right, that we want it to show. And what we've done right now is we have built our Next.js page to be able to fetch the data. So this seems like a good point for me to commit this code and push it to GitHub, so that you can, whoever is like coding along, if you're coding along, maybe this will be a good place for you to like also share, also just copy a paste or just refer to it. So I'm just gonna git commit. I have some aliases that allow me to lazy commit, so I have this thing called the LZ, but I'll do a git commit for those of us who are new. And inside here, what we're going to say is we have added a new feature on the NFT page, and we have fetching NFT details on page load of your stuff. So now that we have this, changes have not been staged. Okay, so to do that, I have to do git add. Okay, my alias does this for me, so I don't know, I forgot to make those changes. And then do git commit, and then I can now push. All right, so if you visit that URL, you should be able to see the code that we just committed on this repo, right? All right, so I'm just gonna collapse this a little bit further, and let's go back to our UI plan. We want to make it look nice, like, right? We want to have a nice container. I don't know if we want to add any navigation, maybe. Well, let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Chakra UI docs, because Chakra UI has components for these. I'm going to look up the container component. Oops, I made a mistake there. The container, and this allows me to wrap everything within a nice margin. So I'm just going to steal this component name really, and inside our imports, I'm going to replace this with the container. I know I'm going to need a stack component just to kind of start things vertically. I know I'm going to need a wrap component. I'm going to need the wrap item component. So these are mostly just layout components to help you do stuff, right? Do the alert icon. I want to improve this error message just slightly because I realize it's not necessarily clean. So I'll do alert icon in here, and I'll do the alert description and put our error message inside it. There we go. All right, and we want to give this a status of error. We'll give this a variant of subtle, really. We don't want it to be too strong. So if we visit a bad URI, okay, there we go. It's an invalid mint address. Please make sure make sure the mint address is correct. right. That's clean. And now let's clean up our UI. Let's clean up the rest of our UI for a proper NFT page. Oh, what's going on here? Oh. Alright, there we go. Alright. It must have been a network error. Alright, so let me first, in here, I'm going to put our container page. Oh, probably the container should be up here. Let's do it. Let's make this the container. I would like for it to have a max width of 920 pixels. It's standard for most desktops, right? Alright, there we go. There we go. And one thing I think we should probably, maybe that's a bit too much. I'll just do like LG or something like that. Yeah, we can do container.lg. Yeah, this is fair. This is fair. Yeah, this is fair. We can show the NFT. Oh, we can do Excel actually. Excel is not bad. There we go. There we go. Okay. We also want to give it a proper padding. Padding Y. Padding Y at the top. We'll give it let's say like 120 pixels. 120 by 4 is roughly 30. I'll do something like 32. There we go. Okay, nice. So first thing we want to do now is to stack our elements in here, but we don't need this. What we need right now is our NFT details, which will go in here. All right, so we'll put a stack in here, and then I'm going to create our heading component from Chakra UI, and we'll put the NFT details .name in here. Guys, we are on to something. Look at that, it's starting to come alive. All right, let me see. Any messages? I don't see any. All right, any questions? But if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. I'm very happy to answer questions and also, you know, help you become successful along the way. Some of you may have questions about building Web3 projects. We've been building projects like these for some time now, and we've encountered a lot of the pitfalls that most people might encounter, and we've tried to make them simpler by building this SDK, which is what, you know, led us into that you know, space. So if there's anything we can do to help, you know, I'm very happy to. So please don't hesitate to ask. We have a community as well. Everyone is very helpful. That's one of my favorite things about Mirror World. It's our community, and everyone is looking to see how to help and contribute. So we have a lot of people who have come in to do different things, and you know, I just want everyone to feel welcome and you know, ask questions, and you know, if you have any feedback about anything, you can go ahead and share with us. Yeah, so font size here, I'm gonna make this maybe XL. Oh, maybe that's too small. Let's just do like 4XL. Let's do more. Let's do more. I want more. I need like, oh, 67 is probably too much. There we go. Now I feel like we're onto something here, right? Okay, on mobile it might be a bit big, so I guess I'll just reduce it to like, let's do 4XL on mobile, right? And then I'll keep it like this on desktop. So if I use a mobile device, well, I might have reduced it too fast. Yeah, all right, that's decent. Okay then. So the next thing we want to do according to our layout here is display the collection address. I'm not sure we have this yet. How does OpenSea display NFTs? I'm curious to see. I think last time we were looking at Magic Eden as our example. Right, so let's look at Magic Eden. If you visit the NFT page, I'm looking at the Mirror World collection. So it just shows the name here on the side, and maybe the collection name as well. All right, I don't know if Yoja is with us in the chat, but it would be nice to know if we can get this on our SDK as well. It would be nice to have it. To fetch the collection name for an NFT. I think it would be really interesting. I believe we can. I'm pretty sure we can. And here you can see the details of the NFT. You can see the attributes, right? The addresses, the activity as well. Okay, all right. What I will do now is I am going to get the I think let me just jump to the image here. I'll add another, like, you know, slot in here for us to show the mint address. I don't know if there's a prettier way to handle this. I'm not happy. I don't like the way most marketplaces do it. Let's see. Let's look at this collection that's trending. They have only 2,000. Let's see how many owners. Okay, so it shows the owner. This is the collection info. Okay. All right. This is the description as well. Official website, Twitter, and everything. Okay. All right. It's certainly possible to do. All right, it's certainly possible to do. If you guys have any other ideas on how else to display it, I just kind of don't like this. I want to be able to copy the address, or, you know, if I click it, maybe I don't want to go there. I just want to copy. So it's all right for now. Let's just render it. Let's just render it. Let's render it here. Let's do an edge stack component. For in here, I would like to do the code component and show the NFT mint address. Oh, actually we have the mint address up already. Oops, mint address. And then I'll put in here the icon button as well. And let's see, copy address. That's the let's see that. All right, there we go. But we have no icon, so I'm going to look for one of the icons in Chakra UI. Let's see icon, and there must be a copy in here. Is there a copy icon? Does anyone know if there's a copy icon? I don't see a copy icon. All right. Okay, there are copy buttons, but they don't have copy icons. All right, so I think for that we can use React icons. I don't know if I have it installed already. Do I have it already installed? Yes, I do actually. I do in fact have it. So let's import it from React icons. From React icons. I like their AI library, so I think I'll call it AI copy. Is it copy? Outline copy? Yeah, there we go. And we'll put it in here. So the icon is this guy, and I would like the size to be like very small, like SM. Right, so that it doesn't look awkward. All right, there we go. So this, when the user clicks this, it should copy to address. So I'm going to create a new function in here called copy. Let's say copy to clipboard, because I think we're going to use this multiple times. Copy to clipboard. This is a function, so and this function we want to check to see if clipboard is in the navigator. Then we want to do navigator.clipboard.write, and so this would be content. Ideally should be of type string. We'll limit it to that, and this should be the content. Right. Otherwise, and I think you should only do it if there is clipboard items. Let's see what is the type here. What does this method expect? clipboard items. What is a clipboard item? A clipboard item. Well, I'm a bit confused by this. I'm just going to look for an example online. Clipboard. Let's look at the MDN documentation. Okay, read text. I want to be able to write. Clipboard API. So I want to write text. Okay. All right. Okay. What is okay? It's write text, not write. Write text, and this should be the content. There we go. Always read your documentation, friends. Yeah. All right. So what we want to happen here is if the user clicks this, we want to perform a copy to clipboard, and we'll copy the main address in here. Right, so just to prove that it works, if I copy this and I paste it here, as you can see it's different. If I copy that and I paste it here, it's the same. Perfect. Alright, so I'm just going to try and make that look nicer. What is the height of this? It's 32 pixels, so I'll give that about the same height. 32 by 4 is... What is 32 divided by 4? It's 8. So I'll give it a height of 8. Right, I'll give that a rounded of 4. I'll give this... Oops. And then I'll give this a BG of white alpha 50. I'll also make it rounded 4. Well, maybe we don't need to make it rounded 4. We could just keep it as it is. I'll also remove this for now. Let's see how that looks like. All right, it already is looking very interesting. So I'll give this a display here of flex. I would like for it to justify its content in the center, also to align its items in the center, and there we go. So for this we'll give a padding of 4 pixels. Okay, maybe that rounded is a bit small. Let's see what Excel gives us here. Right, and we'll give this to align self or justify self at flex start. Flex start. Okay, I'll also give it some padding. So that it looks a bit better. Doesn't look as nice. All right, there we go. And we'll give this also, I think we'll just make this border radius full, so that all right, there we go. And the button, we can also make it full. And I forgot the CSS property for managing this, so I'm just going to look at it. Justify self. Was it align self? Oh yeah, it's align self. There we go. Align self. Okay. There we go. Very nice. And I will give this also a background of white alpha of 100. Okay, nice. There we go. Okay, maybe in the user copies, it would be nice to give them some feedback, because how do they know they have copied it, right? So let's do a toast. Const here, use toast. Const toast is equal to use toast from Chakra UI. We're importing that from there. It has a pretty decent toast component. And when the user copies, what we want to do is say toast and notify them and say copied. Right, and we'll position this at the top. Let's do bottom left, bottom right. I don't know. We're trying to be different. Ah, nice. Awesome. Maybe a green, perhaps. Status would be success, and the variant would be let's make it subtle, really. Okay. Oh, nice. There we go. And I don't want it to stay too long, so I'm going to also reduce the duration. It feels a bit long. Let's do 200 milliseconds. Is that too much? Okay, that's too short. That's too short. All right, let's do half a second. No, that's also too short. Maybe. Oh, let's do 1 second. Let's see. How does that feel? All right, perfect. How about the top? How does that look like? Yeah, nice. I like that. I like that. Okay, next thing we want to showcase on the page is the image. All right, so here we're going to probably do like a grid, and inside this grid we're going to split it. Yeah, we're going to split it. We're gonna have to split it. We're gonna have to split it. Okay, no problem at all. No problem at all. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So it's a bit uneven, because here's the picture takes up one, maybe say what, a little slightly more than a third, right? Maybe like 2/5 of the screen, right? So we'll see how to do that. So next thing we want to do is to create like a nice layout here, where we'll have a grid. So I'm going to look at the component documentation for the grid, if I remember it correctly. Okay, so you have grid and you have the grid item. Can I just do a simple grid? I think so, right? Like you always have 2 columns, right? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm just going to do this simple grid, because I don't think we need. Well, on mobile we want to collapse it. So I think let's use the grid component. Let's just use the grid. Copy the grid item as well. So we have here the grid, and we have the grid item. And so whenever you build your front ends, if you're a front engineer, please plan for mobile. Most people use mobile. 80% of website traffic is mobile. 80%. So it's important to consider that as you build your apps, which is why you should build with a Mirrorworld mobile smart SDK. It's able to support all your needs. You can build on the web, you can build on mobile, which is very easy. As you can see, this is a mobile device. So please build with the mobile SDK, Mirrorworld Smart SDK. It's very mobile friendly, and you can actually test out games that are already using it, like this one called Mirror Jump. We just got a few others that just joined, onboarded with us, like Rage Effect, and some others which have just signed with us. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say, but it's actually very mobile friendly. So if you're building on Android, we also have a couple of videos on Android as well, by the way. If I go to our YouTube channel, you should be able to see them, right? So you can go to I don't know how to see your channel. Yeah, I think we've built some videos. We've done some videos. I don't think this is it. I think it's we've done some videos on Android as well. Yeah, there we go. right? So you can check out the SDK as well. I had to teach myself Android development. All right, cool. Let's go on ahead. Let's march on ahead. We have a pretty interesting layout we need to implement here. So let's create here the grid, right? We had a grid, and then for this grid, it's gonna be interesting. So let me even prepare myself, like, you know, CSS grid. When I was learning it, I didn't like the process of learning it. So for those of you who enjoy it, you know, pretty interesting. But now with Chakra UI, it's so easy for me to do. So in mobile, for columns, we're just gonna have one column, right? As well as also on horizontal mobile, right? And then on desktop, what we want to do here is we're going to do 2/5 of the screen, of the width of the screen, right? And then this is going to give us the other three. The first 2/5 will be for the image and the marketplace activity on desktop. The other 3/5 will be for the metadata and all those other things. So I'll put them in there, right? And we can easily actually see that. So let's put our grid items in here. Let's put some grid item. Let's give it here a background of like what? Pink. You guys like pink? I like pink. Interesting color. And this is the other grid item, right? This one, let's just give it orange. Let's call it orange, right? Let's give them both heights, right? So we'll say here I want a height of, you know, 200 pixels. Maybe that's a bit too low. Let's do 500 pixels, right? The other one at the bottom, this other one on the right, I'd like it to have maybe more. Let's say like 800, right? So you see that? And we can give it a gap as well. The gap, let's give it a gap of 8. That's 32 pixels in between. So this will be where the image is going to go, right? And this will be where the details will be. So if I oops, yeah, I visited the wrong URL. So if I scroll, now you can see how it collapses nicely. You see, you got that out of the box. Wow, isn't that amazing? All right, cool. So next, I think we will now put our image. We're ready to put our image in here. So let's copy. I want to copy the code from our NFT card, so we don't need to like redo everything. And I'm just going to copy this. Boom, right? Just like that, we will already have an image with like zero hassle. There we go. We don't need this BG of pink. We also don't need this egregious height. This is, wow. Right, let's call this NFT details. Right, and the NFT.name. There we go. Guys. This is too easy, man. This is too easy. Why didn't we know about this SDK before, man? Right? All right, border color is we want it to be yeah, okay, border color, want it to be white alpha. Let's give it a border width of 1 pixel, right? Let's give it a border style of solid. Yeah, want it solid. Okay, there we go. And I will now give it here an overflow of hidden, and I will maybe it's a bit too small. Oops. Let's do 2XL. Yeah, this is decent. That's decent. Is white alpha a bit too light? Let me take a look and see. Perhaps it's a bit too light. It's a bit too transparent. Right? I think it's a bit too transparent. Is that going to give us... let's see, 1 pixel solid. Oh, okay, all right, I think I was just using the wrong property. All right, instead of border style, I'll just do border and then just call this border. There we go. Maybe this is a bit too much. Let's do 50. Maybe it's still a bit too much. Let's do a darker color instead of trying to go for the lighter ones. Let's go for the darker ones, right? We'll do a gray of like what, 600. What does that look like? Well, you know what? I don't like it, so I'll figure out what to do about this later. Okay. The next thing we want to do in here, next thing we want to do is to display the NFT description. Yeah. Next thing we want to do is display the NFT description. Let's look at our plan. We have the text, and then we have the website, we have the symbol. So we're going to need another stack element in here. So I'll just put another stack inside our second grid item. We don't need this. Well, we don't need that. And I'll put in here another stack. And for this, we'll space them with a spacing of around 20 pixels per item. Right, and for this, we'll do another text element. Guys, just look at how easy this is going to be. We're spending most of our time doing UI. Like, it's like almost unfair, right? Like almost unfair, man. And this is going to have the description of the NFT, right? What else do you want to add in here? Bro, this is like very unfair. Look at how easy that was. Then we have the website and the royalties as well as the symbol, right? So let's do, for this I think we'll probably want to use a link, right? We want it to be external, right? Let's import the link from Chakra UI is external, and would like to do a few things in here. Let's put the text, and we'll put here the NFT description. So no, this is the external URL. NFT details dot external URL. So one thing I wanted to make sure that we do here is we only display it if there's an external URL. Sometimes collections may not have it, and that could end up, breaking your code. So you only want to display that if the collection has it. Otherwise, just don't render anything. You can just return now, right? Okay. I guess it wants me to log in again. Okay, there we go. Okay. Should we do this? Does this look good? Like showing the actual URL? I don't know. Yeah, so most do something like this. There's an icon, or so I think probably let's do that. I think we want it to be quality, right? Let's do a globe, and I'm going to steal the globe from the AI one, right? Well, let's use this one. So we want to import from React icons/vs, and in here, instead of the link itself, what we will do is we'll say view. Oh, it should be a button actually. career button. This would be here as link. I don't know if, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know if this is legal. Oh, we didn't import the button. Okay, and then we wanted to have a variant here of flat. Is external, say href here is the NFT details dot external URL. So we don't need this. We also don't need this. What we'll do is we'll give it a variant here of ghost. Right. The left icon will be the S globe, and then we'll say here view website. There we go. That looks nice. I'm gonna get rid of this, like, you see how it does the text decoration of underline? I don't think we need that, and then the background here transition as well. So I'm going to do this hover and just set the text decoration to now. Text decoration here to none. Right? So there we go. And if we click that, it goes to the NFT's website. Look how easy that was, man. It's so unfair. All right, I can't keep like complaining about how unfair it is. Yeah, and then do like royalties here. So I don't know if we got the symbol. Let me see. We may need to add this in our roadmap as well. Let's see. The symbol. I can take a look at the type that we import. Actually, I don't even think we need to go that far. I can just do it in here. If I just refresh. All right. Okay, there we go. All right. So I'm not sure we do have that, but okay, no problem. Okay, let's do the royalties here. So we can say here royalties, what, 4%? Is that a good way to describe it? I wonder what's the best way to display? What's the best way to display like royalties? Is it a pie chart? Right, I was thinking of something like this, something visual, you know, like that. You know, something like this. So if it's like 4%, it will show for like this thing with 4%. I wonder what you guys think. If you guys think it's a good idea, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. But if you think it's a good idea, or if you don't like it, just tell me. I think it's a nice way to visually see, like, because the way I see it is, if I list this NFT for, let's say 100 Sol, and let's say the royalties on the NFT are like what, 3, right? Then I know that 3% is gonna go to the collection, right? Like this view kind of gives me I feel more confident about how much I will be making. I don't know if this makes sense. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. It's a nice way to represent it. Yeah, I'm just doing like UI stuff, but I'm gonna do that. Oops. And then I will come in here and just copy this. Okay, then this is going to be in the second grid item after the link. Then we will have here the royalties, right? So we can say here, oh, let's do a horizontal stack actually. say here for that, we'll put that inside text, and here we'll say the royalties. And here I will then say put the progress bar in here. So we may need to do a little bit of like computation here. So right, so royalties on Solana go from a range of 0 to 10,000, right? So the maximum is 10,000. So 10,000 represents 100%. So that means the maximum you can ever possibly have is 2 decimal places. So for example, if I say if you look at an NFT and you see that the royalties, the value of the royalties is something like 100, 100 here translates to 10%, right? It means 10%. So what does this look like? No, actually no, it means 1%. Sorry. What does this look like? The way, how do you arrive to this is you get the value of the royalties, right? So you get here. In China, rather not in China, in Solana, they call these the seller fee basis points, right? Of the NFT. You can see the I don't know if you can see them in here. If you go in the metadata tab and you look at the seller fee basis points here, right? This value, what you need to do is divide it by 10,000, right? So you could come in here and then you can say like let's say the seller fee basis points divide by 10,000, right? This is what gives you the royalty percentage. Right? So these are some examples. So 100%, 100 will give you 1%. If you find, say, a collection that has, say, 425 like ours, this means 4.25%. Right? If you find some collections have like a full-on 1,000 here, so that means you're going to be paying 10% in royalties. So if you list the NFT, say, for 100 Sol, 10% goes to the creator and the rest will go to your account after you've sold it. So that's how royalties work on Solana. So in this case, what we want to do is we want to show the user this, right? We don't want them to see this. This doesn't make sense to them. Most people understand percentages. So what we will do is in here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our NFT details, right? And we're going to take the seller fee basis points, right? And we're going to divide this number by 10,000, right? And that should give us the actual percentage, right? So I'll come back in here and I'll do the same. Oops. Oh, I forgot to add opening bracket like that. Okay. And now if you come in here, oh, I need to multiply this by 100. Well, this here times 100. So there we go. Oh, that means we also have to update our equation. You can see there 4.25%. We need to update our equation. Our equation here should have, it should be seller fee basis points divide by 10, divide by 100, or divide by 10. Yeah, this is fine actually. I don't need to do this actually. This is it's exactly the same thing. I don't need to do this extra multiplication. Yeah, there we go. So that should fix it. And if I come in here, yeah, now we have 4.25%. However, All right, I'm not sure about like the colors or the size of this. If you guys think there's a better way to represent this, please tell me. If you have some ideas, I'm happy to take them. I feel like there's a better way we can make this. Let's see. Font size, maybe like 2XS, maybe even smaller. All right, that's perfect. Okay. And maybe we could give this a color of like red. No? Yeah. And in the background, we could make this green or something. I don't know if it's a good idea to do this. Nah. I don't know if it's a good idea to do this. I'll just leave it as is right now. Maybe red is a bit too strong. I'll keep it what it was, green. So this 4% is what you will pay to the creator of the NFT every time you transact with it. And let's see. The last thing we want to do is now wrap them all into like this like list of attributes, which I think should be relatively easy. So let's do that. Under here, I'm going to create another stack as well, and I will give this a heading of attributes. Let's call this attributes. Right? Maybe this is a bit strong. Is this too strong? Yeah, maybe let's reduce the size. Let's do 2XL perhaps. Okay, that was too much. That was too much. Let's do LG. Yeah, that's fine. And then we're going to get the we're gonna get the wrap, right? Let's do the wrap component. So inside our wrap component, which we're going to put in here, I've called it the wrap component, and we're going to do a few things. We're going to iterate over the array of attributes. So the NFT details dot map. Oops, no dot. What was the attributes, right? Okay, it should have attributes. Dot map, and so here we're going to get the attribute, and we should get the index as well, and we're going to return here a wrap item, and inside this wrap item I will put here two things. I'll put in here stack, and I'll put in here the attribute name, trait type, value, right? I would also like to give this here a border. Gee, I wonder what border color. let's do gray. Yeah, this would be 1 pixel, right? Solid, and we could say here border color is gray, 50. Maybe. Oh, okay, that's probably a bit too strong. Let me just hand code this. Maybe it's not the best idea to do it, but if we do 444, what does that look like? Solid. Oh wait, yeah, I'll look at that later. For now, let me do some padding here. So for padding X, I'd like for this to have 4. Padding y should be roughly 3. And okay. All right, so these are the attributes. Maybe the type, the name of the attributes should be bold. All right, so font size, this should be bold. No, font weight. Font weight should be bold. Maybe we could give this a slightly larger font size. All right, so font size LG, maybe. I don't know if that's a good idea to do that. And I would like to space these by like a very small value, right? Maybe 1. Yeah. All right, I think that's okay. It's not bad. Is there anything else? Should this be like a normal grid? I don't think it needs. Does it need to be a normal grid? Or can I just keep this? I kinda, I don't know. Maybe a grid is better. Maybe a grid is better. Let's try this, and then let's try with a grid as well. All right, I'll do a simple grid. All right. Let's see. Let's do a grid. Right. We can do 4. Okay. To make the grid responsive, adjust automatically the passing column. Simply pass the minimum child width prop. Okay. All right. Cool. And then here, I guess we can try to readjust the layout. All right. That's perfect. That's perfect. So I guess, yeah. Let's do that. Let's use a simple grid. We'll import that from Chakra UI. Oops. Right, and then in here we're going to say the minimum child width maybe should be like what, 200 pixels, something like that. And then in here we can put these styles on the stack. Right, and then we can say here the key is this I here. Cool. All right. Yeah. What do you guys think? Like, which of these two is better? Which of the two looks better? I think maybe the main one looks better. I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm a little confused here. Maybe some of our like UI like ninjas can like step in and give me some ideas. Kobe says to leave it. It looks good. All right. Maybe we'll see. Let's I don't know, 10. Maybe 10 is a bit too much. Let's do 6. All right. Yeah. Maybe that's too much as well. Maybe 4, 3. Yeah. So which of these two looks better? Maybe this one looks better. I think this looks better. I'll say the second one. I kind of like the second one. It feels more consistent. So I'll do that. Well, I think maybe Kobe, in case you like the other one, I'll just comment this out, and I can leave this code in for you in case you want to try it out. I'll just say, you know, different layout for attributes. So I'll just leave this in here. All right, cool. So in case you want to use this one, you can do it. I'll leave that in there. I like this one, so I'll keep this. And I think for this, the spacing here, let's give this a 4. I think 4 is better. All right, now it feels a bit more natural. Okay, cool. So I'm starting to think that maybe we don't need a whole row for this. Maybe this percentage should go in like somewhere on the metadata for this thing. I don't think we need a whole row for this, you know. Anyway, that's fine. I'll just leave it as is. Let's go to the design. What's remaining? The last thing we want to add here is the marketplace activity. All right, cool. Let's do that. Let's get some activity here. For that, we'll put that inside the first grid, which was in here. So let's create another stack in here, right? Inside the grid item. Then, oh, I think we need to wrap this inside like. Okay. Oh, it has its own gap. It has its own grid item. Then we have this. Okay. So I'm just going to do like a stack, right? And let's do a stack in here, so we can stack the components in there. And this will have a spacing of 5. We'll space these by 5. And then in here I'm going to get us a new heading. I think the heading that we used for the attributes was pretty nice. I'm just going to reuse that. Just put that in there, and then we will put the activity, like the row of the marketplace activity in here, listed, blah blah blah. So I think this is a pretty interesting component. Let me see if I can first look at the type for that activity. If we go to Solana NFT activity, look at the listing. So the listing has this state. Inside it, we can see the ID, we can see the seller, we can see the metadata as well. One thing I wanted to also take a look at is oh, I can just do it in here. Just refresh the page. And inside the NFT I wanted to see if it's returning anything else that might be interesting to us. Oh, so it does return the auction house object as well. Interesting. All right, I will make this a to-do on my list to update the SDK, the JavaScript SDK. To do. The first thing was to export the Solana NFT extended type from core package. The other thing I wanted to do was to add the auction house. Oopsie daisy. Add the auction house to the listings, to the NFT listings type, and export it as well from core package. Would you guys be interested in seeing how we maintain the SDK? Maybe like in the future we should probably live stream that also, but I don't think YouTube would be a good place to do. Probably Twitch, because then it will just be maintenance, and maybe maintenance is not as exciting. But for those of you who want to know like how to publish like an open source package, like what's involved, I think it'd be an interesting thing to learn. Don't you think so? So I'm going to do a bit of a hack here because we don't have this type yet. So I'm going to do a little bit of a hack. So I'm going to create a new type at the top here for those of you who use TypeScript. But if you don't use TypeScript, you don't need to do this. I'm just going to make my own, my own this polyfill type here. And I want it to extend, export interface. If you use JavaScript, you don't need to do this at all. I'm just doing this for our friends who use TypeScript to just make sure that we have the right, they have good experience as well while developing. and we will also be adding this to the SDK so that you don't have to manually do this, for those of you who are building in JavaScript, so you don't have to do with this as well. So it will be a lot easier for you to develop, right? All right, there we go. So first thing I'm going to do is I have this like UI tool that I use to make types from JSON, and it's just going to give me this this interface here, these types. I don't know why. It's because I don't know why I'm so lazy to like just do it myself. But normally I'll just I don't need this. Copy that, and I'll copy this interface. Yeah, I just need this here. So actually I'll just keep this here as the auction house type. It'll be a reference for me, auction house, and this will be the auction house, right? So I'll copy this and I'll put this inside our notes here. This is TypeScript, and I'll paste this in here. So this will be a good place for me to have like a reference. I'll come back to it later, but for now that we kind of have this declaration, local declaration of NX, this is a polyfill. Yeah, it's not the let's call this the fixed one. And then finally what we will do is oh, it also has a mint address, by the way. The mint address also, we forgot to add it in here. This is a type of string, so I'll append this as well in my plan. If you guys are interested in watching like the Mirror World, core maintenance stuff, if you're into that, like, you can do it. I'm very much into open source, so I do like it. So if you guys want to like see how that process goes, you can always just let me know in the chat. Maybe next time we'll go live on like Twitch or something, or even on Discord. You can just do it in Discord if you're interested in seeing that. All right, and then this here. Okay, for this, what I will do is I'm going to coerce the type that it brings out to be okay as any as promise, or you know what, let me just TS ignore. It's probably easier to do that, but I will be fixing this. So I'll say expect error, we'll fix in next SDK release. All right, so that way you know what's going on here. Maybe this is a good place for me to commit this code, so I'll push to GitHub. So for this, what have we done? We've done the simple grid, we've done the attributes layout and royalties as well. All right, so I've just pushed that up to GitHub, so you guys can pull if you're working on the same branch in your local machine. Awesome. I will now go ahead and create the list of activities, and that will be probably the last thing we do today, because it's pretty simple. We spent a lot of time doing UI stuff. Most of the SDK things are pretty easy to do. We'll put those in here. So let's get the list. I want to see what that type looks like, so maybe that will give us an idea of what to show, right? So I'm going to look at the object of the listings, right? So let's refresh that. I want to see the details of what's in here. So we have a listing, right? So this listing here is what I'm interested in. So we can see the price at which it was listed. As clearly I was like really I was selling it for 120 Sol. And then also here you can see the currency that was used, right? This was Sol. And also we can also see the, I think that's what we want to see, like it was a listing, right? That's what we want to know. It was sold, it was listed. So if a listing has a purchase ID, then you know it's been purchased, right? So that's a purchase that has been done. But all we want to know is like it's been listed, right? So all right, let's do it. So first thing we want to do is we want to kind of create like a map in our code base to map the currencies. So in Solana, each token like with which you do transactions has a mint address. And if you guys want us to also wrap this up in the SDK to like kind of map them for you, it would also be a good interesting thing that we could do. So we have a property, so I'll copy the string contents, so that way it would allow you to be able to like see the token that is being used to transact to transact on the marketplace. In this case it is SOL, right? But you can also search for USDC, right? So this can also be used to transact in marketplaces. In fact, I think if we have some time today, maybe I could just show you guys how to programmatically create a marketplace and actually list an NFT that you own, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and go back here and copy this SOL, and also this is USDC. So I'm just gonna copy both so we can have like a nice map. We'll only account for those two tokens in our project, so we won't account for the rest. And here we'll create an enumeration. What should we call it? Let's just call it trading enumeration, trading currencies, right? And this is an enumeration. In JavaScript you could just use an object for this. You don't need to do anything fancy here. So for this I'm using SOL. Oh, let me just use the address itself, and the map should return the name, which would be ideally, actually no, I don't think we need to do this. This should just be an object. Let's just use an object, really. Let's use an object. Let's say Solana currency names. So we have this is going to be USDC, right? And this is going to be SOL, right? So for SOL it was that long one with so many ones in it, because Solana is number one. All right, I think that's it. This is enough for the map, right? Okay, all right, so let's do that. And let's look at our list of marketplace activity. Where was that? Oh, where did I put that list, guys? Oh yeah, it was I think it was marketplace activity. Marketplace activity, right? Then the other thing we wanted to be able to do was to get the details from the listings. So for that we're going to create a table. I think we're probably going to create a table. Do we need a table? I don't know if we do. We can use a table, or let me just use a regular, divs. Yeah, and then we can say here we want the NFT details dot auction house, no, dot listing. Oh yeah, what I needed to change in here is this. The auction house doesn't go directly here. The auction house goes in the listings, right, which would be the Solana NFT extended listings type, right? Yeah, I think we wanted to the listings extended, so export here, interface here, listings extended, and this here would extend the Solana listings extended with the listings Solana NFT extended. This should be the listings extended, and then in here we want it to extend the listings type. Wait, where does it say that? Oh yeah, this should be an array. Is that it? Ah, okay. I think I know why. I'm just going to import the listing here. Listing Solana NFT listing. I think this is what we wanted to add in here, and then add the auction house. And the auction house will take this type. All right. Yes. All right, we're on the right track. Okay, so we'll come back in here. We want to get the listings. We want to map over the listings. We have a listing in here, and we want to do some interesting things. So we'll do I wonder how we'll display this. I wonder how do we display this? Does it have to be a table? Does it necessarily have to be a table? I don't see a better way to display it. Let's see. Let's look at the table. Oh yeah, I think this table is fine. We can use this. I'm just going to use this. Oh yeah, this is fine. I'm going to use this simple table. So I'm just going to copy this and use this. All right, Chakra UI is working, man. The Chakra UI is busy. All right, I'm going to steal this code, and I'm going to put it in here. And we want to extract like 4 columns from here. How many variants do we have? I just want a simple table. Oops, what's missing? Table. Oh yeah, the table itself is missing. Right? Oh yeah, the table. No. The table container is already fine. What's missing here? Oh, do I need to log in? Oh, I think I might need to log in. Oh no, I don't actually. Okay, all right. So we kind of have something here. So I'm just going to remove all this data and populate it with something that like is visible. I might need to actually resolve this little issue here with my authentication. Just give me a moment here to log in. Okay. All right. And if I go back to our NFTs, I want to be able to see. All right, so now we have this. So what we want to do is to show it was listed, right? It was bought, it was listed, or like whatever the activity is. So let's see here. Table, let's see. I don't know if we're going to put anything inside the table head. Right, let's look at what other marketplaces do. Okay, so we have the price. Perfect. So we have the price, currency price, and then we have the date. Okay, oh, we have the event, we have the price, we have the seller, and then we have like the date, right? So let's do that. So we have event, price, from, and to, as well as date. So here we have event. Let's do price. Oh wait, event, price. The price also is numeric, right? So C is numeric. Then we'll say here the seller. Let's do from. This will be to, and the date, right? Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we're talking here. So we're going to iterate over all the data points that we have. So for each row, we'll iterate over. Actually, we're just going to iterate over all the rows and just put the information in it. So let's do that. So we have here our NFT details dot map. Oh, dot listings. So we wanted to do, and then we want to map over all the listings, and then we're going to take out of here the listing. We're going to create an index as well, and let's copy this guy here. So the first thing here is the name. So how do we know it's a listing? Let's look at the listing type here. So the listing, so I think what I would do is I would try to see if there is a seller, and if it is a seller, then I'll put the listing. I would say this is a sell. Oh, okay. Wait. If there's a listing, and the purchase ID is now. If there's a seller and there is no listing, the purchase ID. I hope I'm thinking about this correctly, by the way. So you guys could. You could let me know. So then the name of the event is a sell event. Otherwise, if there is a purchase event, but then you can have a seller without a purchase ID. You can also have both a purchase ID and a seller. So would that make it a sell event? Perhaps it is. Perhaps. I think for now let's just deal with listings, I guess. Because I think right now this is kind of what it is. That's what it is. A listing is basically a listing. It's not really anything else. So I'm just going to keep this as sell, right? Then if we do encounter a scenario where we need to document purchases, we can document them. So for now I'm just going to leave it as that. And then the price here is, we can look at the listing. Listing dot price, right? And I think we might also want to look at the currency as well, if it is in Sol or it is in USDC, right? So for this we can take a look at the our trading, was it our trading map? Let's see, because we designed our map at the top here. Solana trading currency names. So let's do that. Solana trading currency names here, and in here we're going to do the listing dot auction house dot treasury mint, and if not, we just fall back to like so. String cannot be used to index this type. Blah. Why are they complaining, huh? You know what, I'll just give this a type here of record string, and this is any, really, so it will keep quiet. Yeah, all right. TypeScript, sometimes TypeScript becomes very happy and it starts complaining. Okay, I don't think we need a footer on this table. Okay, and also maybe we could also show the marketplace as well. right? Actually, we should show the marketplace. Let's add the marketplace here. Yeah, right. Show the marketplace. So for the marketplace, what this will do is we will now showcase the actual like address, right, where the marketplace, that the token is being sold. So here under the from address, we will do the listing.seller. Right, let's do listing.seller. Finally, for the to address, since it doesn't have a purchase ID, I cannot find the purchase address right now, so I'll just leave this empty, right? And then finally we have the date. So here we can do a listing here let's see, created at. I don't know if this is going to be human readable actually. Let's see, is it human readable? Let's see if it's human readable. I don't know if it is. Whoa, okay, this is pretty long. Yeah, we'll leave that up to you to like try and like make nice. I'm just gonna do in here, I'm gonna put like a text element and limit its width. So I'll say here you know, max width of like say 100 pixels, and number here of lines is 1, because I just don't want any information to like make the page look very long. So that is why we're going to limit that. Let's see, text. All right, what have I added that is not correct? Oh, I think I know why. All right, it's amazing how one small typo can make the whole editor become, you know, okay, maybe this is a bit much, but it's all right, it's okay, it's okay, it's all right. I can sleep at night. It doesn't look very clean. But I'll probably remove the to address because it's just listings, you know. And right now we want to showcase the marketplace address here. So for this, what I will do is I'm just going to use a link, right, and say open in marketplace. So for this, I will do a link. I will give it, it's external, and for the value of this href is going to be https explorer.solana.com/address/the listing.auctionhouse.address, right? And then here I'll put a button. Put a button, and I'll do like external, I'll put an external URI. External link, outline link. Yeah, I'll just do that, link outline, and then I'll put the link icon that should go in here. View. Okay, I'll just call it view. Right, so this should go to the Explorer on Solana, where the marketplace is, right? Okay, all right. Oh, I think I forgot to put it in its own field. Is this correct? Is this correct? I might have put it in the wrong place. All right, so we have here 1 2 3 4 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't think for this I need to have this actually. Let's see. Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. That looks good. What I don't understand is why it's doing this. Because it's pretty much... Oh, okay, I know why. Haha. I know why. Because I did not put this inside the text element. Yes, my senses are alert. All right, and I guess that's it. All right, cool. So now if the user clicks view, this will go to like the address on... Perfect. Now you can see the auction house address. Wow, this is nice. And maybe we should probably open directly this anchor data, because this is what's useful. So now people can actually see the marketplace, and you can see the marketplace makes this match on commissions, the marketplace, who is the authority of the marketplace, like what is the currency of the marketplace, right? So I think that's useful information. There we go. It was listed for 120, so I think you can actually prove it. If we go to marketplace.mirrorworld.fun, oh, not sure why it's not loading. Maybe my internet. Is it my internet? Maybe DNS. I'm not sure why it's not loading for now. But you can actually see that activity on the NFT. So I would say we have built out everything. Right? Everything we said we were going to build. The rest of the features, I'm gonna leave them inside the plan.md file, so you guys can, like, you know, knock yourselves out, have some fun, and you know, try to like build out the rest. Actually, I'm interested. Maybe you guys could try and build out the rest. Listing and buying on the Explorer. Yeah, this maybe in our next video we can actually build an actual marketplace. We could extend this into an actual marketplace. What do you guys think about that? I think this is kind of a good place for us to stop. We've kind of been at this maybe for like 2.5 hours. So we have like what, 5 hours already just working on this, and you have an Explorer already. You can see the NFTs, right? This is it's pretty sick, you know, it's pretty cool. I'm very happy with this. You know, let me see my... We could there's many ways we could improve it. We could show the owner of the address. We didn't have it here, but we could also show the owner of the NFT, which I think would be an interesting piece of data to show. But I think this is kind of a good place for us to stop. So if you guys want to see more stuff, you can like let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy this to Vercel and maybe share the link with you guys, so you guys can check it out as well, play with it. I'll leave it up for an hour. The reason why I don't want to leave it up forever is because my API keys are in it, and you know, I think and I will be taking those down, but I will leave them in it for the next hour or so you guys can play around with it, and then we'll remove them because you know, API keys are sensitive variables, so I will remove those. Other than that, I think this is a nice place for us to stop. I want to say thank you to everyone for coming today. This was really good. I really enjoyed our stream together. We built some really interesting things. So if you guys have any ideas, any feedback on, like, you know, what we can do to improve this, please feel free to give me you know, send us some messages. Send us some messages in Discord. If you have things you want to build, please reach out to us. I think, let me just open our Discord to see. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we have like a channel for that. Do we have one, Ryan? While Ryan is like checking that out, you can just maybe we could make like an extra, under the forums channel there's a thing for support. Let's see, I don't know if this is the right channel, but we want to be able to get ideas from you guys to see what to build next. But this was really cool. It was a fun project. There's many things we could do to improve it. So if you guys encounter things while building, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know. We'll make this much better live stream, and I'm very excited about what you guys build. I want to see this kind of mature, and we can see where it goes from here. Is there any other like extra things we could do to like actually test this? Because right now I'm just testing with my own NFT. Maybe we could test with others. Do you guys have NFTs on Solana? Right, if you guys have any NFTs on Solana, we can just very quickly check it out. Let me commit this code and push. Feature finish NFT page. Yeah, if you guys have like things or collections on Solana, like yeah, Solana Monkey Business, for example, this is an interesting one. I will check out this. Let's see if we can find any activity on this one. On Solana. Looks like it's oh, is my server still running? I might have stopped it. Oh, yeah. All right, but I think for now this is a good place for us to stop. So thanks everyone for joining us today. Oh yeah, it's actually fetching the data. It's just maybe my connection's a little slow, but it's actually fetching the information. So that would be a great. That's great. Oh yeah, there we go. And we can see the white fedora, cigarette, everything, all the different NFTs. So I think this actually can tell you a bit about different marketplaces. But yeah, thanks everyone. Wish you guys a great rest of your day. Have a lovely evening or morning or afternoon for wherever you're coming in from. All right, see you. Bye.